What's up, y'all? It's actually been a while. And I know I say that every time, but yeah. And happy 4th of July to everyone in America, which includes myself. But anyways, I kind of just wanted to make this video as like a reference point for myself and just like recording things for myself and maybe anyone who resonates. And I've actually been thinking of recording this for like a bit, because I'd go on a walk or something and I'm like, oh, okay, I have thoughts that I want to say, but every time I come home I'm like always too tired, or too lazy, or I forget when I actually sit down to record it. I'm like, okay, what was I saying again? You lose that train of thought. So sorry if it's kind of like all over the place, but I thought, I have 20 minutes right now before I go out and watch some fireworks, so I might as well just force myself to say shit. And gosh, they always be revving loud ass vehicles outside if you can't hear it. Anyways, I guess the topic of this thing that I want to record today is gonna be like sticking to something. So a little bit of like context. I'm in college, so it's the summer right now. So normally people would head back and but I had to stay here for the summer because I have a little bit of work to do here. And so it's a little bit desolate in the summer. It's a little bit lonely, if I will say. Like, I have times when I go out and there's people, but I spend a lot of time by myself this summer, I'll say. And sometimes it gets lonely, and for me, I've been using that time to just like try to work on things for myself. As cringe as that sounds to say, but like fix my mental, go on a cut, like a proper cut, and actually grind out some work and get smarter and shit. But the reason that I wanted to record this is that it's not like I've been through super hardships, right? But being here over the summer, I guess I didn't put myself out there as much as I should have in the beginning. But it gets kind of lonely, and I noticed that leads to my like mood swings being a little bit larger, because you don't have as much time to just distract yourself with like hanging around other people. So a typical day for me, let's say, it's like I'd wake up in the morning, and then immediately I'm like thinking about things that I don't want to think about, right? Thinking about like mistakes in the past, thinking about stupid shit in the past, or And then that makes me want to just like sit there in bed and just not do anything. Just fucking, go back to sleep and not think about anything. And some days I'll actually do that, and it's terrible. Like, not sleep more because I need more sleep, but just sleep more because I don't want to deal with shit. But like, most days I'll just tell myself, yo, stop being a bitch, and then I'll wake up. And then I'll go to the bathroom. And I go work out in the morning usually. Sorry about that. And like on the way to the gym, that's when my mood starts to like really, really soar. I'm like, yo, I'm the fucking bomb. I'm a winner. I don't need like no one else. And just like all the corny type shit that you think of, that's what I'll be thinking. Like, yo, I don't need anyone else. Gosh, because you start working out and you get that bump. You pose in the mirror. For me, sometimes like my weight be going down because I'm on a cut. And I'm like, yo, the shit I'm doing actually is working, right? And you look better every day sometimes. Like, okay, I fuck with that. And that'll last quite a bit. Then I'll go back home and I'll crank out some work because it's been quite busy. And then I'll get like stuck on something. It's particularly bad when I get stuck on something at work where I'm like, gosh, that's when sometimes at least for me, I start feeling a lot more lonely. Like, I've talked to my friend who's also here, and I guess for him, he says like work's a distraction from like dealing with problems and stuff. But I think for me, I don't really have problems like that. But when I get stuck on a problem at work, that's when I feel like, okay, I feel like shit. I feel like, yo, I wish I had someone like that would like support me like that and shit. And that's when you kind of start feeling like not the best. And then I'll go cook. I'll feel great because I'm cooking. I'm gonna eat. And then again, right before I'm going to bed, sometimes that's when shit, like, not the best thoughts cloud up. Right? So that's the typical day for me. And it's not particularly bad, it's just it's normal. I think normal human regulation. The reason I bring that up in terms of what I was trying to say today is that on top of that, I've been trying to stick to things. Like, I've been really this summer trying to focus on building some good habits, And for me, And those 3 things that I've been working on was first, trying to cut down, right? I'm trying to cut down so that I can look pretty decent when I go back to school or when school starts again. And yeah, I'm trying to cut down to like 12%, I'd say, body fat or something. And that's like decently hard for me because I think as a person I have it easier to gain weight than lose weight. So I've been trying to learn to like, track my calories and actually stick to that. Like I'm a hard worker, I'd say. But something I've always struggled with is, as a lifestyle habit, sticking to something. That's like decently hard. I have trouble with that. So that's something I've been working on. That's one thing. Actually, like focusing in on my work is another thing. And I guess just fixing up my mental image of, not mental image, mental clarity, as fucking cringe as that sounds to say. And I noticed, because like 3 weeks ago, I got really sad over something. And this was not a good night, bro. I got really fucking, it was not a good night. Let's just say that. And I went out. I looked at my app. I was like, okay, I have XYZ amount of calories left. And I was like, okay, I'll eat a Chipotle. Because one thing, I guess, that was a bad habit of mine was, if I get stressed or something, if I get sad or something, I'll treat myself to a lot of food. So I was thinking, yo, if I have a Chipotle, because I had like 800 calories left. I treated myself to a Chipotle because it'll fit, and it's not that bad. And that Chipotle was closed, so I was like, okay, I'll go to Cane's. Fuck that. I'll go to Cane's. And Cane's was closed for some reason, even though it was before their closing time. I think it was around like 10 p.m. or 11. I don't know. So I really did not want to cook. So last minute, I went to a pizza shop. I was like, okay, you know what? This is my one day where I'll be like, okay, I can fucking let loose a little bit. So I ordered some pizza, and there was this little kid who was there. I mean, she was cute. She was like, yo, do you want this newspaper here? I was like, yeah, thank you. And then I ordered my box. And I was about to head back home when I stopped by the trash can. I was just looking down at it. It's like, gosh, that day was not my day. And there was this homeless dude. I was like, yo, you doing alright, you know? Because I was just standing there. And, I guess this is actually a tangent to what I was talking about. But I was like, yeah, for some reason I decided to be honest with the dude. I was like, yo, it's not my day. And, I thought about it. And I realized, like, dude, you you're being like a fucking bitch. And I mean that in like the truest sense. Because what would happen in the past when I've tried to do something like this? And the guy was nice, so I gave him my pizza. But what happened in the past was, whenever something would get bad or down, I'd allow myself a day to just not follow my habits that I want to build. I'm not trying to cultivate this unhealthy mindset of like, oh, you have to stick to it every day, otherwise you're a fucking failure. But for me, speaking for myself, whenever that would happen, it would lead to like a series of events where, you know, one day I'm just like, yo, I don't have to walk this much every day. I don't have to move 50. Well, I'm trying to also walk more. I don't have to walk 15,000 steps a day. I don't have to finish this assignment today because it's due Saturday. I don't have to eat under maintenance today because it's due in the future. And today I'm like sad, right? So I get today's my past day, and I get to bend the rules a little bit. And that would happen one day, and then I would say tomorrow I'm gonna start back up again. But in reality, it's like, no, because I would keep devolving into, no, it's just one day, it's one day, it's one day, it's one day. And then that would just wipe out the whole thing until I just stop. I'm just like, okay, what's the point? You know, I've already been off of this thing for a month. What's the point? And I'm not trying to say, yo, here, it's trying to stick to something. There can't be some days where you, like, don't do it. For example, like, you know, there's some days where I will cheat on the diet. There was one day where I was like, it was a Sunday. I got a little bit, woozy. So I ate a little more than I should have. And that's okay. That's okay. But what I'm trying to say to myself is just, there's a difference between gosh, it's really corny, but there's a difference between like motivation and like discipline, right? Because I'm really motivated to do certain things. Like, I'm really motivated to to look like that. For this just example, it applies to so many other things in my life, but I'm overusing this because it's the easiest to explain. I'm really motivated to fucking look more jacked, quote unquote, than last time, or I'm trying to. But am I disciplined enough to? That's the question. And that applies to like my career. Like, I'm motivated to fucking make a lot of money, right? But am I disciplined enough to put in the work to make that money? That's what I'm talking about. And that's why, like, dude, when I get lonely here sometimes, maybe I just didn't have enough discipline, but sometimes it gets me thinking, like, yo, I really want someone with me to, like, not struggle with, but like to sorry, not struggle with, but to share hardships with, or like just be there for each other, you know. And that will really push you off the path. When sometimes I have mood swings like that, and especially because it's so, you know, frequent throughout the day where you get lonely. It's like, yo, what's really pushing you to do the stuff that you're supposed to do? Especially when sometimes you don't see the reward immediately. Like, I'm not immediately gonna get lean. It's gonna take a few months. I'm not immediately gonna be making 200, 300K. If I ever do, hopefully I do. But you know what I mean. I'm not immediately gonna build those good habits and then reap the rewards from it. That's what really sucks. And I love that saying, man, that people say about it's never the work that you do in front of people, it's always the shit that goes behind the scenes. You know, when there's at the closed doors, and it's just you and the Papa John's. You and the Taco Bell. You and whatever. You and the material that you have to know. You and the assignment that you have to do for work. That's what gets you. And it's easy when, man, my life is not hard. As much as some people, it's not. Fireworks going. I probably have to leave soon, but that my life is not hard as much as some people. But it's a process to like learn to stay disciplined to shit, even when things are going wrong. That's all like I'm trying to say, and that's what I've been trying to do. That's what I've been trying to do. And I fail a lot. I'm failing a lot, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I downloaded this app, which is like a habit tracker. Just like every day I walk 15K steps, every day I work out, every day I floss, every day I eat, I track my calories. I'll click it, and then like I like seeing numbers go up, right? So I was like, whoa. And I'm looking at this calendar, and there is more reds than I would like to see sometimes. And I fail a lot, and that's okay, I guess. I'm trying to accept that it's okay. Because I'm trying to do better. Trying to be better. Trying to be okay with failing, I guess. But failing, I guess, but making the steps so I don't fail in the future. And I was watching this video from this pretty popular dude, Dr. Mike Isertail, some fucking bodybuilder dude. But he has this channel that not as many people know about, where he just talks about like life and philosophy and shit. And he was saying something about like losing. He was saying losing is like the secret it's secretly good sometimes, you know. And he was saying like this was the example he used. If you ask out a girl and then you get rejected, like I'll say I'm gonna ask out Alyssa or something, and you get rejected for the first time, and that was the only thing you did, man, to you that seems like the end of the world, right? Like, gosh, you're scared of that rejection. But if you like ask out 100 girls, gosh, you know, and they all reject you, first off, you gotta find someone. You gotta maybe look for a different crowd, because 100, that's crazy. But you'll get used to it. You'll get used to that rejection, and that might be scarier than someone who's not used to that rejection, because they're not afraid to try things. Sorry for the shaking. They're not afraid to try things and fail, but still keep trying. I guess this was a tangent to the discipline aspect. Not really, because even if I do fail sometimes, and I see a lot of red in the calendar, and I see a lot of like days where I'm like over my budget, at the end of the day, I'll wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna still fucking try, even if I feel like shit. And that's what I'm telling myself. Yeah, I'll still fucking try to get the things that I want. And sort of like thing I've been thinking about is that's kind of been like keeping me a little bit disciplined, is that even if today you have, this is definitely an unhealthy mindset to have, but it's something that helps me. I notice that when I feel particularly good about myself, like, yo, you're really smart in the morning, or yo, you look fucking yoked, you look jacked, I'll lose motivation to actually eat right. I'll lose motivation to go to the gym and work out. I'll lose motivation to study or finish that work that I had to do. And it's not a healthy mindset, but I don't know. Sometimes it does help you stay on track. I guess there's a balance of thinking too much, yo, I'm fucking shit, I'm like horrible, look like shit, and a balance balance between that and being like, oh, you're so being a narcissist, like, you're so fucking attractive, man. If you get what I mean. Hopefully you do. But what I was saying was, what I've been thinking recently is that has been helping me stay disciplined a little bit in things is, you know what, no matter who's around you right now, like your friends, your whatever who's around you right now, they could be the closest friend in the world. Doesn't matter, because in 10, 20 years, the only thing that's guaranteed to be there for you is yourself. So I'm looking back and I'm thinking, because I used to be, man, like a year ago, 2 years ago, I was like really simple-minded. I would say I wouldn't think of anything. And I think to myself, like, if I had stuck to some shit, like if I had honed in on this one skill, if I had done a lot, honed in on this one skill, if I had consistently lifted a lot, at this point I'd be a monster. Really, I'd be, you know what I mean, I'd be way better. And that's not to discourage myself, well, a little bit, but I think I got a little complacent with life and shit, because I just gotten accepted to school. I was like, yo, I'm doing well. And I'm not saying you can't take breaks, but if I had stayed consistent on some things, I would have been, like, let's just say, I think I would have been in a better place right now. Not that I'm in a bad place, but so I'm thinking, if I stay consistent now, because it's never too late to start, as they say, what will I be like in 2 months from now, when I actually achieve my goal weight? What will I be like a year from now, when hopefully smarter and I have things that I've learned? What will I be like 10 years from now, when hopefully I have like a family that I started, that I can take care of, and the shit that I'm doing right now is like building up for that, right? Like building up for my future family, I'd say. So the work that I'm doing in right now is really will pay off. Because it's hard to see things, as I was saying in the beginning, it's hard to continue things when you don't see results. And it's hard to see things, hard to see results in the short while. But when I look back, I realize how much result there could have been. So I'm just thinking how much result there will be by the time that I get up there. Anyways, I babbled long enough. Babbled a lot, actually. And I was supposed to go see the fireworks like 15 minutes ago, so I probably have to, yeah. Y'all have a good one. And I'll actually make a proper video hopefully. Peace out, y'all.